Hello guys, welcome to Unacademy, Accord YouTube channel for GATE and DSC. This is your KP sir live on YouTube channel. Before going to start today's session, I would like to introduce myself, Krishna Prakash. Students love to call me EE sir. I was very much famous for environmental engineering. So students love to call me EE sir or KP sir. Have 16 years of teaching experience. Trained more than 150 batches for GATE, ESC and also state government AE A-double exams. And I am the ex-faculty of ACE Academy. Now star educator in Unacademy and leading English teaching faculty of Civil Engineering Group. So I will take care everything regarding your scheduling, subjects. I will take care about your preparation. And in Unacademy, I am going to teach the subjects environmental engineering, hydrology, irrigation, open channel flow, construction materials and management. I am famous for simplifying the subjects and I will provide you shortcut formulas which can be solved in the GATE exam in 1 minute or less than 1 minute time duration. And the vast and lengthy theoretical subjects, I will make it easy for you by providing tables, by providing flowcharts, some diagrammatic representation, so that huge theory easily understand for you. I am famous for monitoring, mentoring student preparation, best motivator. So if you want, I will provide you best strategy according to your strengths and weakness. So follow me in Unacademy and watch my free lectures. Check my profile KP Civil. Watch all free classes. If you want to take plus subscription, join Unacademy with my code KP Civil. Anything related to your academics, your career, your subject related doubts, preparation related doubts, anything, contact me, WhatsApp me. My mobile number given there 8985931112. And if you want to take full length course on Unacademy, use my code KP Civil or Engineering Guru. Okay, let's begin the session. Now coming to the today's session, it is related to 2019 Engineering Hydrology GATE solutions. In Civil Engineering paper, for both set 1 and set 2, 2019 Engineering Hydrology, provided with 6 different questions. So we'll go ahead and discuss solutions related to that 6 different questions. An inflow hydrograph is routed through a reservoir to produce an outflow hydrograph. Inflow hydrograph is routed through a reservoir to produce an outflow hydrograph. So what is this flood routing? The statement, first statement itself provided information. This is a flood routing. And what kind of flood routing? Through a reservoir they have provided. First we conclude it is a flood routing because inflow hydrograph is used to derive outflow hydrograph. Here, inflow hydrograph is used to derive outflow hydrograph, so it is flood routing. And it was routed through a reservoir. Routed through reservoir. So what is this reservoir flood routing? Hydrologic reservoir flood routing. The model of flood routing will conclude here. Hydrologic reservoir flood routing. So before going to the question itself, what we know regarding hydrologic reservoir flood routing we'll discuss here. Inflow hydrograph and outflow hydrograph. When you take discharge in meter cube per second on y-axis, time in hours or days on x-axis we are taking. Now The inflow flood hydrograph is like this. And very importantly, outflow flood hydrograph does not start immediately because there is a storage, because there is a reservoir. Due to that reason, after certain time delay, this is outflow flood hydrograph. This is the peak of inflow flood hydrograph. Peak of inflow flood hydrograph. And this one is peak of outflow flood hydrograph. Peak of outflow flood hydrograph. Always, remember this word. Always, very important statement we learned during hydrologic flood routing. Always, peak discharge of inflow flood hydrograph. Peak discharge of inflow flood hydrograph is always greater than peak discharge of outflow flood hydrograph. No doubt about it. Because under any circumstances, if you are studying hydrologic reservoir flood routing, storage is going to be happen between inflow and outflow. Storage is going to be happen between inflow and outflow. There is a time delay of starting of inflow and outflow hydrographs. Ultimately, inflow flood peak is more than outflow flood peak. Coming to the question. The peak of inflow hydrograph is Pi and the time of occurrence of the peak is Ti. Clear? From this is Pi only, we have written already. Time of occurrence, it is occurring here now. We will consider it as Ti, time of occurrence. Peak of inflow hydrographs occur at a time called Ti. Okay? That is according to the given question. Next. The peak flow of the outflow hydrograph is P0 and the time of occurrence is T0. Okay, we write down for this also. This is T0. So P0 is the peak of outflow hydrograph occurs at a time T0. What is the relation between Pa and P0? Pa is greater than P0. What is the relation between Ta and T0? Ta is less than T0. Time of inflow peak is less, time of outflow peak is more. Discharge of inflow is more, discharge of outflow is less. Which one of the following statements is correct? Which one of the following statements is correct? Pi greater than P0, okay. But Ti greater than T0, no, we reject it. This is not happened and this is not happened. This is correct. Pi greater than P0, okay, we accept. Ti less than T0, this is correct now? 100% true. Okay, we'll go remaining options also, just we check. Pi less than P0, impossible to happen. So leave option C. Option D also, Pi less than P0, impossible. So what is the answer? Answer is option B. Pi greater than P0, Ti less than T0. That is the answer. Already we have shown. Pi greater than P0, Ti less than T0. So conceptual question. You need to know the best knowledge subject related to hydrology, flood routing, to understand and to solve this model of theoretical conceptual oriented questions. So be careful. Read the entire theoretical concept. Don't depending upon formula only. Read the theoretical concept also to solve this model of gate questions. Okay. Next one. A confined aquifer of 15 meter. Constant thickness is sandwiched between two aquicludes as shown in the figure. Where is the figure? Where is the figure? So this is the figure. So confined aquifer of thickness 15 meter. This is the thickness of aquifer, depth of aquifer 15 meter. B, thickness of aquifer B 15 meter. Between two aquicludes. This is aquiclude 1, this is aquiclude 2. Take aquiclude A, aquiclude B. These are the two aquicludes provided. And their distance between one well to one piezometer to other piezometer. Piezometer P and piezometer Q, 2500 meters. 2500 meters. The H1 is 55.2 meter. H2 is 34.1 meter. What is the question? We'll go ahead. Two heads indicated by two piezometers P and Q. H1 55.2 meter, H2 34.1 meter respectively. Aquifer has hydraulic conductivity K value given. Hydraulic conductivity K value provided 80 meter per day. And its effective porosity is 0.25. N is equal to 0.25. Distance between piezometers 2500 meters. The time taken by the water to travel through the aquifer from piezometer location P to Q in days. So, how much time the water will take to travel from this piezometer to this piezometer? Time taken by the water to travel from piezometer P to piezometer Q. Time is equal to distance by velocity. General formula we know na? General formula, several times we are studying this. Time is equal to distance by velocity. Distance already known, L. Velocity V to be determined. Distance given, 2500 meters. Distance given. So now we need to determine velocity. Velocity is equal to K into I. What is I? Gradient. I is gradient. Delta H by L. That is equal to K into H1 minus H2 by L. Here, velocity is equal to K into H1 minus H2 by L. But flow velocity, actual stream velocity required, actual flow velocity V by N. We can take porosity provided. So we take the first one is apparent velocity, second one is actual flow velocity. Actual flow velocity. We'll consider actual flow velocity. This is V is equal to V by N. So how can we write down? K by N H1 minus H2 divided by L. That is actual flow velocity. So if you determine actual flow velocity, substitute that actual flow velocity in this formula to get time of travel. Okay? Okay, we'll move ahead. Now, actual flow velocity V is equal to K 80 meter divided by N. What is N? Porosity. Porosity provided N we have written here 0.25. Porosity 0.25 into H1 minus H2. H1 is 55.2, H2 is 34.1. We write down 55.2 minus 34.1. Length of travel, distance of travel 2500. 55.2 minus 34.1 divided by 2500. So we got the velocity. Estimate this velocity. 80 by 0.25 into 55.2 minus 34.1 divided by 2500. What is the velocity you are getting? 2.7008 meter per day, because hydraulic gradient is given in terms of day only. Na? So now time required is equal to length 2500 meter distance of travel, velocity 2.7008 2.7008 meter per day, you are getting time in a number of days. This is the value 925.65 days. 925.65 days. This is time. You substitute, you write down here 925.6 days, rounded off to one decimal value, 925.6 days. So the question is related to what topic? Well hydraulics. The question is related to well hydraulics. Previous one is flood routing. Now this one is well hydraulics. Okay, we'll move on. Wow, hydrograph. Always we have one mandatory question related to hydrograph. In my several classes also I used to say, without hydrograph there is no GATE question paper. Again we have the hydrograph question. The ordinates U of 2-hour unit hydrograph. Unit hydrograph is nothing but for 1 centimeter effective rainfall. For a catchment are as shown below. So T and U, unit hydrograph ordinates, 0 to 12 hours, each 1 hour time difference. U is discharge meter cube per second, unit hydrograph discharge for each 1 hour. 6-hour storm occurs over a catchment such that effective rainfall intensity, very important point. The data is provided, effective rainfall intensity 1 centimeter per hour for first 2 hours. So 0 to 2 hours. What is the rainfall intensity? 1 centimeter per hour. 1 centimeter per hour. You write down effective rainfall depth in such case. Intensity given 1 centimeter per hour. What is depth in such a case? For 2 hours, for 1 hour 1 centimeter. For 2 hours 2 centimeter depth. 0 for next 2 hours. No problem. 0. For next 2 hours, 3 to 4 hours. It is 0 centimeter per hour. You take next 2 hours depth is 0 centimeter. No need to consider at all. Not required that one. And 0.5 centimeter per hour for last 2 hours. 5 to 6. Last 2 hours. 0.5 centimeter per hour. So for 1 hour 0.5 centimeter. For 2 hours how much? For 2 hours we can take 0.5 into 2, that is equal to 1 centimeter. So effective rainfall depths for each 2-hour duration. First 2 hours 2 centimeter, next 2 hours 0, next 2 hours 1 centimeter. So I will plot this. So that it is easy for you. This is a 6-hour rainfall. First rainfall 0 to 2. Second rainfall 2 to 4. Third rainfall 4 to 6. 3 rainfalls given. 3 rainfalls, total 6-hour rainfalls. Total 6-hour storm event divided into 3 individual storms. First rainfall of 2 centimeter depth. Second rainfall of 0 centimeter depth. Third rainfall of 1 centimeter depth. Okay. P1, P2, P3. Actually, these are not rainfalls. Remember, effective rainfall, direct value. Effective rainfall depths only. Direct values. Okay. Done. The base flow is constant at 5 meter cube per second. Base flow is constant at 5 meter cube per second. Peak flow due to the storm. Peak flow means what you need to determine? Discharge of flood hydrograph. peak discharge of flood hydrograph for the storm is how much? This is to be determined. That is to be determined. But very complicated thing here. Given is 2-hour unit hydrograph. The time difference provided, delta T provided, data provided is for 1 centimeter. Sorry, 1 hour. 1 hour. The time difference provided is for each 1 hour they have provided. But rainfall occurred is a 2-hour unit hydrograph. Okay? We'll move on now. So this is the data as it is you are writing. You write down same table, same column, given data you are writing same. This is a 2-hour UH ordinates. 2-hour UH ordinates. 2-hour UH ordinates given from first hour onwards. First hour, second hour, third hour, fourth hour. First hour onwards they have provided. Now, DRH for first rainfall. Direct runoff hydrograph for first rainfall. So you have already UH. So DRH is equal to QUH into effective rainfall depth. QUH into effective rainfall depth. QUH into effective rainfall depth we are taking. So as it is for the first rainfall, it is started at 0th hour, produced discharge on the first hour itself. So as it is you take multiplied with 2. Means you can write down 0, 2 into 2, 8 into 2, 18 into 2. So like that you can multiply na? 32 into 2. So I am writing direct multiplication values here. I will write direct multiplication values here. 2 into 2, 4. Why I am multiplying, tell me? Why I am multiplying, tell me? Because effective rainfall is equal to 2 centimeter. DRH is equal to UH into effective rainfall. UH into effective rainfall. So 2 into 2, 4. 8 into 2, 16. 18 into 2, 36. 32 into 2, 64. 45 into 2, 90. 30 into 2, 60, 19 into 2, 38, 12 into 2, 24, 7 into 2, 14, 3 into 2, 6, 1 into 2, 0. Is it necessary to take second rainfall? Second rainfall not at all required. Not at all required. Directly I am jumping to third rainfall. Because second rainfall not yet produced any kind of depth. So all values, DRH values of second rainfall are 0. Because you are multiplying with it now. You are multiplying with the direct runoff. If DRH values are taken into 0. 2 into 0, 8 into 0, 18 into 0, all are 0 values only. No need to take second rainfall not required. We are considering third rainfall, effective rainfall depth of 1 centimeter. Third rainfall is contributing, given clearly. Third rainfall is contributing effective rainfall of 1 centimeter. When it started discharge, very, very important. The third rainfall started discharging 5th hour. So discharge value is started at 5th hour. Before 5th hour, all values taken as 0. Before 5th hour, no values considered. Only from 5th hour you can start the values. So you take here 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then as it is, this values means you can consider delayed by 4 hours. Lag or delayed by 4 hours. fifth hour onwards, you write down the same value. Same, why we are writing same? Because it is 1 only, 1 centimeter only. It is 2 centimeter, we have multiplied now. Now 1 centimeter only, just as it is, we are writing 2, 8, 18, 32, 45, 30, 19, 12, 7, 3, 1, 0. We don't want all the values because we need peak discharge. We need only peak discharge. We don't want all the values. So what is the highest of the given values? Add it now. Total DRH we can write down. Total direct runoff ordinate values. Total DRH values. You just add it now. So while adding, what is required? 0, 4, 16, 36, 64, 92, 68, 56, 56, 59. Do you need all this? No, only peak. Already you attained the peak now. You got the peak value now. Already you obtained the peak. This is Q peak of what? DRH. So Q peak of DRH you got 92. Question is about peak discharge of FH. Flood hydrograph peak discharge. Flood hydrograph peak discharge is equal to direct runoff hydrograph peak discharge plus base flow. Plus base flow. So we can take it now. 92 is a direct runoff hydrograph peak discharge plus base flow. 92, identified 92. Base flow 5 meter cube per second. You can take directly. 92 plus 5. 97 meter cube per second. 97 meter cube per second. So flood hydrograph peak discharge is equal to direct runoff hydrograph peak discharge plus base flow. 92 plus 5, that is equal to 97 meter cube per second. Okay. Simple question. Simple question. 97 meter cube per second. You are getting the answer. You move on to next one. Clear for everyone? You go ahead. A catchment may be idealized as a rectangular catchment. There are 3 rain gauges located inside the catchment. So this may be taken as a catchment. 3 rain gauges A, B, C I have given at arbitrary locations. The average precipitation over the catchment is estimated by 2 methods. Arithmetic mean method, Thiessen polygonal method. Which one of the following statement is correct? PA is always greater than PT. No. PA is always equal to PT. There is no relation. First of all, there is no relation between arithmetic mean method and Thiessen polygonal method. So we can't say whether it is equal to, whether it is greater than or it is smaller than. So what is the answer? There is no definite relation between PA and PT. Just there are 2 independent methods. Arithmetic mean method and Thiessen polygonal method, 2 different independent methods. There is no direct or definite relationship between PA and PT. So answer is option D. Okay, we'll move on. The probability that annual maximum flood discharge will exceed 25,000 meter cube per second at least once in the next 5 years. At least once means P1 in the next 5 years. P1 in the next 5 years, 5 is found to be 0.25. 0.25 probability. The return period of this flood event is, return period T is required. Return period T is required. So if you take the formula for P1, probability for occurring at least one time, probability for occurring at least once, P1 is equal to 1 minus Q power N. What is Q? Q is 1 minus P. 1 minus P whole power N. Q is equal to 1 minus P. Na? Probability of not occurrence is equal to 1 minus probability of occurrence. What is P? P is reciprocal of return period. So we take 1 minus 1 by T whole power N. So this is the final formula for P1. P1 is equal to 1 minus 1 by T whole power N. Substitute in the formula, you will get the answer. 0.25 P1 is equal to 1 minus 1 by T, this is to be determined, whole power 0.25, whole power 0. Wait, N, what is N value? 5. N value is 5. 0.25 is equal to 1 minus 1 by T whole power 5. So what is the T? Determine it, solve it. Solving, you are getting T value. How much? 17.89 years. So return period is 17.89 years. Up to one decimal place they are asking. You can say 17.8 years or 17.9 years. Anyone they will accept. So return period formula, now you are substituting P1 is equal to 1 minus 1 by T whole power N. Okay. P1 and N substituted, T is obtained 17.89 years. We move on next. So if you remember the question, if you remember the formula, all questions related to flood frequency completed. Because it includes everything. Q is equal to 1 minus P, P is equal to 1 by T, and it itself is taken as hydrologic risk R. Both are taken to be same. At least once occurrence. Okay, we'll move on. The Hayato graph of a storm event of duration 140 minutes as shown in the figure. So 140 minutes Hayato graph is shown in the figure. Okay, Hayato graph provided, good. The infiltration capacity of the storm event is 17 mm per hour, which linearly decreases to 10 mm per hour. After 40 minutes duration. After 40 minutes duration. So this is shown now. This is F0 and linearly decreases to 10. This is 10 only. 10 only. After how much duration? 40 minute duration. Linearly decreases. And then it was stabilized at some location that is taken as FC. As the event progresses, infiltration rate further drops down linearly to attain a value of 4 mm per hour at T is equal to 100 minutes. That is only shown now. At T is equal to 100 minutes, infiltration capacity become 4 and stabilized. So before 40th minute, and after 100th minute, we don't want the data, because that data is given for completely whatever rainfall occurred, that is converted into infiltration. So we will consider only 40 to 100th minute. We'll consider the information between 40 to 100th minute. Before that, whatever is there, 100% infiltration. Before that, whatever rainfall occurred, that is 100% converted into infiltration. Okay. So we consider this values only. We can write down like this now, we can draw like this now. So this is going to be occurred, that is to be considered. This is a 40th minute, this is 60th minute, 80th minute and 100th minute. Here total height is 15, here 10 and here it is 8. Okay. Where we can show FC in that case? Where we can show FC in that case? So FC we can show here now. This is taken as FC. That is considered as FC. Which is 4. Which is 4. We can write down here 4. What is required first of all? And remains constant thereafter till the end of storm event. The value of infiltration index F rounded off to 2 decimal values. If you take F for 5, nothing but same na? Infiltration index F, or we'll take it as a 5 is equal to precipitation minus runoff divided by effective time duration. Precipitation minus runoff divided by effective time duration. From the given diagram, what is effective time? What is effective time? The time at which infiltration less than rainfall. In these 2 times, infiltration is greater than rainfall. So F, infiltration is taken as F greater than intensity of rainfall. So up to this, we neglect it because F is greater than I. And after this also F is greater than I, we neglect this. But between 40th minute to 100th minute, what happened? Rainfall intensity is greater than infiltration. 40th minute to 100th minute, intensity of rainfall is greater than infiltration. That is called effective time. Effective time, that is equal to 60 minutes. That is equal to 60 minutes. Okay. Now, what is to be considered? What is to be considered? Rainfall depth is required. Effective rainfall depth is to be required. That is to be estimated. Effective rainfall depth is to be estimated. How can you estimate? Using this diagram. Using this diagram, you are going to determine effective rainfall depth. So you can consider from this, you can divide the diagram. This portion, this is one rectangular portion because it is falling down linearly. This is falling down linearly from this point to this point. So you can divide this as one rectangular portion. You take this one rectangular portion. What is the height here to here? 5. And what is this width? 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Okay. And the second one, you will consider this as a triangle. You will consider this as a triangle. What is the height of that triangle? This height of the triangle, this one height of the triangle, 2, 10 to 8, no? 10 to 8, 2, and again width is 20. So I am going to plot for the first one. For the first one, I am going to plot. It is a formula like this. This portion, I will take this portion, rectangle, 5, height is 5. Height is 5 here. And this is 2. What is the base? 20 minutes. 20 minutes. 20 minutes converted to hours, 20 by 60. Plus this portion. Triangle na half into B. 20 by 60. Height 2. You understand? The duration between 40th minute to 60th minute. The duration between 40th minute to 60th minute I have taken 5 into 20 by 60 plus half into 20 by 60 into 2. That is the duration between 40 to 60. Now second portion. For the second portion I have taken this. Simple, this height is 2 and this is 20 minutes. And this total I have taken as one triangle. This total I will consider as one triangle. So first I will plot for that block. I will plot for that block, this block, with the height of 2 and width of 20 minutes. Height of 2 and width of 20 minutes. So we'll take 2 into 20 by 60. 2 into 20 by 60. So again I am repeating. I am taking this first one as this block. This is area 1. This is A1. For this I am plotting. This is A1. For this I am plotting one rectangle and one triangle. And the second one I am clearly explaining, listen carefully. This rectangular box I am taking A2 and this is considered as A2 we are taking. Then what about the third one? What about the third one? This total we will consider the third one. Third one I am going to show you. This total we have to consider. Third one, what is the total height here? Total height here we'll consider. Total height is 4. 8 to 4 na? 8 to 4. Total height is 4. This total base here to here. 60 to 80, 80 to 100, that is 40. So total this triangle we consider, this one we consider, total triangle. We are plotting. A3. A3 we are plotting. This height is 4. This base is 40 we are taking. Half into base 40 by 60 converting to hours into height 4. So total how many divisions we have done? 3 divisions. That diagram has been divided into 3 components. A1, A2, A3. This is A1. This portion is A1 we consider. This portion is A2 we have taken. And the remaining total portion is taken this one. Remaining total portion is taken as A3. From this diagram, is it clearly visible? Whatever above, because this total is given as infiltration only. That total is considered as infiltration only. So because of that reason, we have considered these 3 portions, A1, A2, A3. So finally what you are getting? Finally what you are getting? Effective rainfall, runoff. What is your runoff now? Finally you are getting runoff is equal to 4 mm. Runoff is equal to 4 mm. You are getting total runoff is equal to 4 mm. Now what is the rainfall precipitation P? Precipitation P 15, 5 and 8. That is only na 15 plus 5 plus 8. Each for what duration? 20 minutes duration. 20 by 60. Here we have considered only the parts which are contributing excess We are considering the effective time 3 rainfalls. 40 to 60 minutes, 15 mm, 60 to 80 minutes, 10 mm, 80 to 100 minutes, 8 mm. We consider that. So 20 by 60 to convert minutes to hours, 20 by 60 we have taken. That is 11 mm. That is 11 mm. So what is infiltration now? Phi index is equal to P minus runoff by effective time. P is 11, runoff is 4, effective time duration is 1 hour. So it is 7 mm per hour. Why effective time duration is 1? Because 60 minutes I will take as 1 hour. Na? 60 minutes, only 3 components, 42 clearly mentioned. 42 100th minute. 40 to 100 minutes, T is equal to 1 hour. Effective time 1 hour. And effective rainfall estimated 15 plus 5 plus 8 into 20 by 60, 11 mm. 11 minus 4 by 1, 7 mm per hour. It is most complicated question. You divided the given hyetograph plot into individual areas. This is important part. A1, A2, A3. If you divide into individual parts areas, your question is completed. Answer is 7 mm per hour. Clear? Clear for everyone? So you write down here 7. So by one time if you listen the class, it is difficult for you to understand. You go through twice or thrice because that dividing the areas, that is very important portion in the question. So be careful, divide it properly according to the graph, then you solve the question. That is easy for you to plot it. Okay, you understand it? I'm going to close the session. I hope you enjoyed the session. Before going to close the session, a small announcement. Join plus subscription full-length course of GATE and ESE in Unacademy. Trust the best for your GATE and ESE preparation. The faculty in Unacademy are top-most faculty. They will give you the best subject, in-depth subject knowledge, and also they have vast experience in teaching, especially GATE and ESE, exam-specific teaching. And the platform of Unacademy is the largest online edutech company in India. It provides live interactive classes. Whatever your doubt, if you put in the comment box, easily, immediately your doubt is clarified. Have you downloaded Unacademy app? If not, today download the Unacademy app. In the search button, click KP Civil, follow me, watch my previous sessions and upcoming sessions also. Whatever your doubts easily clarified immediately within 1 minute of your message. You understand? Live interactive sessions. If you take a plus subscription in Unacademy, I will provide from my side free study material. I will provide from my side one free online test series. Unacademy is giving you one test series. Myself will provide you another test series. 2 online test series you will get. And also, if you miss the session, don't worry. Your already completed class is recorded. You can watch twice, thrice, how many number of times you require. That many times. Just for example, I will tell you. I am teaching environmental engineering 140 hours. You can understand the depth of subjects I am providing. The depth of environmental engineering 140 hours, you can write any kind of examination from that 140 hours only. It may be GATE, IAS, AE, AW, whatever the exam you can write. That 140 hours sessions is more than enough. A single solution for any kind of examination. So, join Unacademy, excel your GATE and ESE preparation, use my code KP Civil or Engineering Guru, take plus subscription, get all the benefits. If you have any doubt, any query related to subject point of view, career point of view, preparation strategy point of view, any doubts related to Plus subscription, whom to follow, whom not to follow, what to study, what not to study, don't worry, your KPs are with you till you crack GATE and SC. WhatsApp me, my mobile number is given there, 8985931112. We together grow up. I am with you, my team of faculty with you till you crack GATE and SC. Then why to wait? Join Plus course in Unacademy using KP Civil Code. Let's crack it.